Okay, so I guess this is just how it's gonna be done. Welcome to the channel. That feels so to say. I can't. Dang, I guess what I want to tell the girls is welcome to your new favorite little, what you want to call it, shindig. Like, girl, you're vibing with me at my house while I sit and write and figure out what I'm going to do in my life, because I'm 25 and I still live at home, and the economy, matter of fact, 2024 has been whooping my ass. But what I will say is I think things are on the up and up. I have no clue like what's going on outside. I hear people laughing, which is a good thing, but I'm like, dang, it's kind of late. But yeah, anyway, if you guys don't know, my name's Girltiaray, Girltiaray. Still trying to figure out what I would, rather have people call me, Girltiaray or Girltiaray. Long story, but yeah, I just wrote a bomb song just now, like not too long ago, and I don't know, I feel like I'm at the age now where it's like I'm rediscovering my hobbies, or pretty much rediscovering my hobbies, and just trying to figure out like what it is that I'm good at and what it is that I'm not good at, so that I can like, get up and have motivation for life in the morning other than me going and making money, because it's like obviously that shit ain't working, because it's like I'm still waiting on the funds to hit my account. But beyond that everything's fine. So I think I'm just learning to like take life one day at a time and just leave it at that, because the finances ain't gonna come from nobody but God, if we being honest. So yeah, so I just wrote a song and I really like it, and I said I was gonna try to record or whatever. And if y'all see me look this way, like right now, I'm looking at the laptop, I'm looking at the screen or whatever. So yeah, I guess where I'm at in this whole sequence is, it is October 2024 and I haven't achieved not one goal that I have for the year. Well, actually, yes, I did. I achieved the one goal that I have for the year, and that was in my career section in employment. And I went and did schooling last year and training last year for me to become a medical assistant, and I actually did get a job as a medical assistant this year. And it wasn't bad at first, but I definitely say like a lot of factors. Think about the factors that go into where you decide to call your workplace. That's all I'm saying. So like the type of people that you work with, how many people you work with, what type of company you're working for, the hours, the schedule, the benefits, if you're getting benefits, things like that. So that's all I'm gonna leave it at, and I'm just gonna leave it at that right now, because I'm still not working at the moment. I'm still not working, Lord. So yeah, I guess I did achieve that one goal that I did have, and I get that feels good. I feel like this year for me was really more so about just experiencing life, if that makes any sense. Like I really just spent a lot of time this year like just living day by day. Like I knew that, okay, yeah, I got bills I gotta pay. You know what I'm saying? I know I got bills I gotta pay. I know I got people that I gotta talk to and take care of. But literally, it's so crazy because I talk about my best friend or whatever, and me and him were really close, and we talk about just about anything. And so I remember last year, December 2023, I remember we would get on the phone and just wouldn't say anything. And for me and him, that's like really weird. Like for us just to not talk. Like it obviously has to be a reason. You know what I'm saying? But it was just like I didn't have anything to say. I had no clue what the heck 2024 was going to have in store for me. And it's like no matter how hard I try to sit and think about it, I just wasn't prepared. And like I said, you guys, I ended up hurting myself on New Year's Eve, and I ended up getting fired New Year's Day, and that was just the beginning of my journey into 2024. But alas, like I said, I met my boyfriend, I got that job or whatever, and it's just like, as far as a personal front, I really haven't paid attention to myself personally, which is like, I will say it is kind of weird, because it's like I've been single for the past, let's see, well, how long was I single? About 4 or 5 years. I was single for about 4 or 5 years, and yes, I was still dating. I was still dating during that time frame. I definitely was dating. I was going out. I was enjoying myself. Not anything crazy. I was just going on dates. That's it. If that. But I was going out, and I was talking to a few people at a certain point in time. And I think that's like the weird point, because it's like this year, this is probably the very first year in a long time that like I wasn't just focusing on myself. Like I was focusing on myself and another person. I was focusing on partnership this year, and I was focusing on trying to meet goals with another person this year. And that for me was something that I never thought would have happened like at all this year. Like I wasn't expecting to get a boyfriend at all. Like not this year. I wasn't. But I'm happy that it happened. And it's kind of so weird too, because it's like, you know, for the past few years, it's like the type of content or things that I was taking in, like let me stop. Before y'all get crazy, I've been watching her for a really long time, and I have my reasons, but I have my reasons. I feel like she does give solid advice. You take what you want, pick with a grain of salt, take it with a grain of salt, whatever. But I'm definitely a fan of Shira 7. And there's like a few other people on YouTube who made like women empowerment content, and it just really influenced me. Like aside from the influencers like Kira, Aaliyah, I don't know, I kind of got older and I kind of fell off from that, but I also feel like they got older and they left the platforms themselves, so it's just like now we're kind of at like base point one. But as far as back in the day when I was paying attention to that type of stuff, it was so crazy, because it was like the mindset that I had, at least with myself, was just like, I don't need anybody. Like I don't need anybody, I'm good. I'm not going to focus on being in a relationship or being in a partnership until I've met all my goals, and until I've done this and I've done that, and blah, 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 blah. And I know that that works for some people. Like, no matter what, you're sticking to a gun-ho. But I'm actually realizing and experiencing, like, I've had the chance to experience this year that life happens no matter where you're at. Like, life will meet you wherever you're at. Life will meet you wherever you're at. Like, you can meet an amazing person while you're at your lowest point, and none of that matters to them at all. Like, if they actually like you, like, they'll still continue to stick by you. And of course, it'll be certain things that you guys have to talk about and agree on, but it's just like, I don't know, I will take that and I'll appreciate that more than me being at the top of my game, at least right now, because it just showed me that I feel like you can be loved at any point in your life. You don't have to be all the way there or all the way put together. You don't have to be all the way put together. You don't have to have, you know, everything accomplished or everything that you want to do done in order for you to meet your husband or your wife or your boyfriend or girlfriend or whoever is going to be important to you when it comes to your love life. So that's something that I definitely want to say. And one thing that I definitely want to mention, I said life will come to you and it'll meet you anywhere. That right there is God. Like, God will meet you wherever you're at in life. And I always say that God is love, and I know y'all know that quote, but I really believe it. And I definitely just think that, like, you know, with all the hard things that I've experienced this year, job loss, not working for months at a time, like even right now, not working for months at a time, not really having any friends, you know, from growing up and just maturing and separating, you know, myself and everything like that. This would have been a really hard year if I would have had to do it all alone. And it's like, I don't know what the future holds as far as a relationship. Of course, I wish nothing but the best as for all my relationships. But one thing I can say is God knows exactly what you need. And I'll definitely say He's helped me a lot in a lot of ways. And it's just like, literally, I'm over here, like, I feel so weird because I feel like I'm like giving praise to a man or whatever. But it's just like, no, I'm just actually being appreciative of everything that's happened, because it's like, I spent a lot of time just focusing on myself and thinking about myself, and I did accomplish a lot, and I'm still accomplishing a lot all on my own. But I think, accomplishments aside, what I really wanted was love. What I really wanted was to experience love and just being loved and giving love, and you know, being able to give love and receive it back at the same, if not more, of a capacity. And it's been crazy. So it's just like, granted, my money ain't been good this year, but my love life is definitely taught me a lot of things. Like, I thought that I was healed in a lot of areas, and I really wasn't. I thought that I was, you know, I would know how to react to certain situations and just be ready when the time came, but I really wasn't until it happened. And it's just like, it's nothing bad, and it's nothing like that I want to beat myself up over, because I don't. Because it just proved to me, like, if you didn't spend that time by yourself, like, you wouldn't even have been at this point that you're at right now. So it's like, everything makes sense. And I'm just waiting for everything that happens with my life, as far as like my career and my money, to make sense. I'm just waiting for that to make sense, so I can move forward and be the person that I know that I can be. And it's just like, it's so stressful. But like I said, y'all, I just turned 25, and it's just like, that's my recap on 2024. And if there's anything that, like, hold on. Like I was saying, if there's anything that I feel like, as far as like, dang, that's just pretty much how 2024 has been for me. Whatever. Like I said, I'm just waiting for my money and all that situations to like clear up, because I feel like I learned a lot. Okay. But one thing that I want to say, I want to touch on the past 5 years. The past 5 years, it's 2024 right now. So 2019, I really just want to, yeah, I think that's perfect. 2019. So 2019 for me is really when everything changed. Like it changed. I had a change before the world went through a change. Okay. So 2019, that was my very last semester in undergrad. That was my last semester in college. It was the fall semester of my junior year. I had just transferred over to a new school, and I thought everything was going great until, like, you know, I ran into money issues. College costs a lot of money. But yeah, so it was like a financial thing that happened, and I just had to step away. And as soon as I get back home, we experienced COVID-19, the pandemic lockdown. Literally 2 months after I'm just getting home from college, like, it still hasn't even processed in my brain that I'm no longer a college student. Like, I had to figure something else out. Like, I'm about to start working. It took me a long time. Like, it took me a long time to process the fact that I'm not a college student and that I need to start working, and this is now my everyday reality. Like, this is my life now. It took me a long time. It took me a long time to realize that. And it's like, I was 20 years old at the time. I was 20 when we went on lockdown. So it's just like, we go on lockdown, the whole world is a mess. Like, obviously the next 2 years, you know, 2020, bands was up. Bands was up, okay? I had money. I got my first car. I got a Hyundai Elantra. It was blue. It was a 2018. I got a 2018 Elantra from the Hyundai dealership in 2020, okay? I felt like a brand new girl. You know what I'm saying? Didn't have a lot of miles. I was great. I had everything that I wanted in that car. So, rest in peace to Bambi. But yeah, I got my car. It's like, I went on, like, I turned 21 that year, 2020. I turned 21. I went on my birthday trip. I had fun. And then it's like 2021, I was on my job. I was on my due diligence. Like, and what I mean by I was on my due diligence was I was working a night shift. And with that job, I was able to, that was the first time period where I can say I was able to deep dive into everything that I had just went through. Like, went through my college experience, my new adult reality, spirituality, religion, everything. Like, that time period was so important for me because I was able to work. I was working 12-hour shifts overnight. I was by myself. It was nothing but me and my journal, like, just focusing on life and everything like that. And that was 2021. 2022 is kind of where things started to make sense. I got, like, a corporate job. I worked at CarMax for about a year. And like I said, I was able to accomplish a lot. And then that's when I was like, okay, I don't want to do customer service. And I went back to my home. I went back to healthcare. So I got the job at the hospital that I wanted. I was working. Things were starting to look together. I still didn't move out. I was saving money, but it seemed like every time I turned around, I had to cash that money out and do something else with it. It just wasn't making any sense. It just wasn't making any sense to me. And I was just ready for everything to make sense. And like I said, I got back into healthcare. I decided, all right, let's try to do something serious. Let's at least try to go back to school and get a, certification or something. And that's where I did my medical assistant, course. I did my medical assistant course. So that was literally the end of 2023. It just seemed like I got whiplash from life and I needed to, like, sit down and have some downtime and really weed out what was important to me, what's not important to me, what was going to work, what wasn't going to work. And I feel like at this ripe age of 25, I feel like this is the first time in a long time where I've been able to take a deep breath and see things clearly. I think this is the first time in a long time that I'm able to see things clearly. And it's just like, I look around and I say to myself, like, granted, you may not have this going on right now, you may not have this going on right now, but you made it through so much. You made it through so much, and literally you have a clean slate. You have a clean slate, and it's a blessing to be able to recognize that you've been given another chance after going through so many trials and so many tribulations and just so many challenges. Because I promise you, y'all, there were like instances where it's like, I really, I might not have been on this earth anymore. Like some of the stuff that happened, and it's just like, I'm still here. And it's like, granted, I haven't achieved or accomplished everything that I've set out to do or even planned to do, but there is so much more for me to accomplish. And it's like, with this clean slate, with this new beginning, I just want to do better and to be able to move forward in the way that I'm supposed to. So that's my little tidbit. I had to get all of that off my chest real quick. I had to get all that off my chest, y'all. But one thing that I could say, I do think it's important to admit your mistakes when it comes to growing. And so I'm definitely open to doing that. But I just want to point out some of the things that I've learned and let go of and accepted. And some of the cycles that I went through over the past 4 or 5 years. I'll definitely say I went through money cycles where I was really, really up, and then cycles where I was really, really down. And it was always the same issue. Like, I mean, even down to me getting a traffic ticket a year later at the exact same spot, same location. I got in the car for the exact same reason I did a year ago, and I got another speeding ticket. Like, stuff like that, like repetitive karmic cycles, things where it's just like, no, like, you need to pay attention to what you're doing, and if not, you're gonna keep running into these cycles and these patterns. And some of that would be with employment, me rushing employment, putting myself in environments that I knew weren't healthy for me or even conducive for me to have some type of career or longevity. Definitely that. I'll definitely say money. I'm still working on bringing my credit back to what it was. Because, baby, I was in the high 700s. And we got some work to do. But like I said, life happened. And I noticed that I have a lot of things that I need to heal when it comes to money. And some of the things that I had to just let go of at that time was, you may not get everything that you want right now. And that hurt. Like having to buy furniture, having to do things that I've never had to do before in my life to say that I'm taking care of myself. Oh, that's a shock, and it hurt. It took a while. For it to process to me, like, hey, this is really up to you now. Like, if you don't do it, you're gonna be without. So it's just like stuff like that. And then another thing I definitely say is like friendships and just certain relationships that I had, just watching how people grow over time and how, you might not always have a big falling out with people. Sometimes you really just don't have anything in common anymore, or you guys just aren't on the same path, or your interests are different. Just things that come with time, things that come with growth. And you just have to take it for what it is and be okay with appreciating the relationships that you have when you have them, and being okay with letting them go when it's time to let them go. Even if that means it's just you, a rock and a penny. It's gonna be okay. So it's gonna be okay. So I guess what I want to say with all of this is, over the past 5 years, I have always been the topic. No matter what's going on in my life, I'm always the topic. My life is my story, and nobody else can do it better than me or whatever. I'm not even talking on like a cocky thing, but I'm saying like, your path is your path. Your destiny is your destiny. And as far as I'm concerned, at 25 with this brand new clean slate, I intend to do so many good things. I just really intend to progress. I intend to progress. I intend to excel, and I intend to alleviate the problems of the past and be successful. That's what I intend to do. But also, I just really intend to be expressive, and instead of holding back, from the things that I have gone through or the things that I do know and my knowledge, just sharing that and meeting new people and doing new things. That's all I intend to do, is just me growing financially, growing, physically, growing as far as my education, growing as far as knowledge, just growing in love, growing in life, growing in experience. Like, everything doesn't always have to be goals as far as aesthetics, but it could be your personal life goals. And for that, you should never put a time limit on it. As long as you're breathing, it's still time for you to get up and try again. So I'm 25. I have a brand new clean slate. And for anybody who's watching this, I just want you to know that you are the topic. And don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. I know life happens and things happen, but girl, just stand strong and you'll be able to tell your story one day and it'll all make sense then. So y'all have a good one, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.